animals are sick or whatever, they'll eat grass, and what will happen? They'll throw up. I grew up having lions and tigers as men. If you look at cats, if you look at dogs, if you look at lions, if you look at tigers, when they're sick, they heal through a process called purging. They'll eat the grass, not even when they're not grass eaters. They'll eat grass. They go to nature, what you call nature's pharmacy. They'll eat it and then they'll throw up. Also in nature, when animals are sick in the jungle, or whatever, they'll eat grass, they'll throw up, and then they'll dig the earth, they'll lay there. They do a process called grounding. They'll close their eyes. And they'll lay there. Anyone has been in the farm or been raised in the farm or whatever, you've raised animals. Sometimes we think the animals are dead. You can testify. Because after the tune up or whatever, they'll be laying there, they'll close their eyes. Because they know the act of looking requires a lot of energy. They know the act of eating requires a lot of energy. That's why a lot of us, most of the time when we're sick, we have no appetite. Our body shuts down, so we can't take any food because it needs that energy to heal ourselves. Because most of the time, the one part of our body that takes the highest amount of energy is our digestion system. That's why a lot of us, after we finish eating, whatever, we find ourselves like feeling sleepy. And animals also practice this. That's why they always said, the ancient, they always said when you're sick, the act of eating while you're sick, you literally just commit suicide. Because you need your body to heal. And everyone hear me okay? Okay. It's like just the act of eating while you're sick or whatever, you're literally committing suicide because you need to let your body to rest. And so people always ask the question like, what is food? Food is to nourish the body. You can't take anything that's dead. Anyone lost anyone here? Has anyone ever lost anyone? Okay. So why don't we eat the people we lost? Why don't we eat them? Because it's dead, right? Okay, but someone lied to us that we should eat the chicken. It's dead. Someone lied to us that we should eat the pig. Someone lied to us that we should eat the cow. But everything in nature that's dead has to be buried. This is nature's law, or whatever. So a lot of us were using our bodies as graveyards, to bury. That's why a lot of us we look dead. We have no energy because we're doing that to ourselves. For us to have life in nature, whatever we need to eat, lively things, or whatever. And what are the lively things within nature? And the question is, what should we be eating? If we go out there, what we're going to see is mostly green. We don't see a lot of white. We don't see a lot of red. Red is a color of meat. We don't see that. We see green. And so that is the nectar. That is what God wants us to be eating. If we look at the cows, what are they eating? Grass. If we look at the elephant, what are they eating? They're eating grass. They're eating vegetation. But we've been lied to that old protein deficiency. Anyone heard that term? Or you're going to suffer from a protein deficiency? So let's look at even the elephant. What is the elephant eating? It's eating grass, it's eating trees. But how come it's so big? This thing weighs tons and tons and tons. It's because within nature or whatever, there's all the protein that we need. There's no term in medical terminology as a protein deficiency. It's nothing like that. But we've been lied. You're going to yell at people, oh, you got to drink your milk. But even when we look at even milk or whatever, no animal drinks another's milk. You never see a rat drinking a monkey's milk. You never see a snake drinking a cow's milk. Every animal in nature drinks milk, and they drink milk as babies. We're the only ones or whatever, even as adults or whatever, we're seeking to drink milk or whatever. Every animal, after a certain period of time or whatever, gets rid of milk or whatever. And a lot of us even think that milk is food. I don't consider it food. I consider it more of oil or whatever. We should be able to, everyone drinks, kids should drink their mom's milk, not drink from cow's milk. If you look at even the equilibrium or whatever, a cow can weigh up to like thousands of pounds, while a human being can only weigh up to maybe 200 and something pounds. So you take this little mammal and give it this mammal, this huge animal or whatever, so the equilibrium is nothing. So we wonder why a lot of our kids or whatever, they're natural, they're developing better weight or whatever, because we're doing all these things. But one thing I learned from my grandfather growing up in South Africa was that we have to constantly observe nature and see how nature is doing things. That when when the sky becomes dirty, what happens is God allows it to rain. Or whatever, this is how God or whatever, cleans up nature. And so we must always observe. And even when we look at animals, they're showing us all of these things, even like the term breakfast. Or whatever, if you look at most animals or whatever, even when they eat breakfast, they don't eat a lot of food in the morning. They eat very little amount of food in the morning. And normally eat in the afternoon, like the biggest portion of your meal. But as a society or whatever, we become custom where everything is more that. Distraction. As a society, can everyone hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you. You want to hear you?
Yeah. So as a society or whatever, we become so like disconnected or whatever. I remember my grandfather also said the term nature comes from the word nurture. I know a lot of us we live in cities or whatever, that for us to heal ourselves, we have to go to nature or whatever. We have to. I mean, I've been here just for the past maybe 24 hours now or whatever. What I notice or whatever, like, there's concrete like everywhere. And a lot of us do not understand that even in nature, sometimes when animals are sick or whatever, what they go is or whatever, they have their legs touching the earth. And when their legs, that's why most people also in the city or whatever, they have like headaches, energy or whatever. What I noticed, like going through the train yesterday, I was drained. I was like, wow, I see why, the conflict. That's why everyone's constantly like tired or whatever. We need nature. We're organic matter. And because we're organic matter, we need organic things. But all this concrete is an inorganic matter. So we're constantly on top of it. So we need to find, I don't know if they have parks. We need to go to parks or whatever and try to get some kind of, release fundings or whatever. Just going to a park or whatever, taking off your shoes and walking there with it or whatever, it releases a lot of the ions or whatever that actually heals the body. That's why when animals are sick or whatever, you never see them like, laying on the concrete. They normally go in the yard where there's earth or whatever and ground themselves and walk in and sometimes they'll lay on the earth because they know this is how they're able to heal themselves. Any questions? Any questions?
Anyone have any questions for Dr. Kang? Again, if y'all have any questions personally too, we'll have that little time that y'all can get that one-on-one. But if y'all have any general questions,
yeah, I have a question. Can you tell like some of the things that you're able to help the people with, like in this community, what type of diseases that you think you could help them with?
Well, a lot of everything I've done, I don't really like to talk about my work. A lot of everything I've done is mostly online, YouTube or whatever. I was blessed, to have developed over 2,000 and something formulas. These are some of my formulas or whatever. I've healed people for high blood pressure. I've helped people with high blood pressure, diabetes, a lot of common illnesses that a lot of people are struggling with. Just like my wife said, when I met her, the doctors gave her 2 years to live, and and she had stage 4 breast cancer. She also had kidney failure, and she also had alopecia. She was actually poor, we just literally grew her hair back. And the process I used for her, or whatever, if you go back, a lot of you can remember, maybe like 30 years ago, when people were sick or whatever, one of the first things, any of you know about enemas? Enemas, like coffee enemas. Anyone?
You guys know enemas?
Enemas. Anyone knows? Okay. Like 30 years ago, that's what medicine was, or whatever. People they're like, oh wow, my stomach hurts. They give you a coffee enema. Your eyes hurt. You can remember. I know a lot of the old people here, they can remember. But why don't we use those kind of modalities? So when I gave her like 90 colon things in enemas in a 90-day period. And the goal is to be able to remove everything out of her system. Because food and water, they're the only external thing that will put in gender. So whatever's going on within our bodies is what we put in. Everyone's belly is the size of their fist. So if your belly is that big or whatever, that's where the Americans say you're full of shit or whatever. Yeah. And so 30 years ago, you went back or whatever. This is one thing everyone had. Everyone had the coffee and in the back. People who didn't feel better, they caught the flu or whatever, their parents, their grandparents. Any of you remember having your grandparents giving you coffee enemas? Huh?
I don't know what it is.
Every time I talk to a lot of people, especially like foreigners or whatever, in the islands or whatever, this was a method that we used to heal a lot of people, was coffee enema. Or sometimes I put it in tea. So I gave her 90-day colon cleansing, and then I put on a 90-day juice fast. And after the juice fast or whatever, she used to weigh over 200 and maybe 17 pounds. She lost maybe over 70-something pounds within maybe a 3-month period. Yeah, and so after that or whatever, I put her on a raw food diet because the doctors told her she was going to die maybe within 2 years. So we had to treat her, rapidly or whatever. And the reason I'm saying this or whatever is that even when we look at nature, this is how nature, every animal when they sick, they go to nature, to heal themselves through this method. They don't take it. If you go in nature, you're not going to see anything that's white. If you go to nature, you're not going to see anything that's red in color. So when you take anything or whatever that's white, that's red, what do you do to your body? Or whatever. You need to put that which nature has provided, which is green. If you go out there, the first thing you're going to see is green. Because this is, they call it the lifeblood of nature. This is one green thing or whatever. So I was able to put on a 90-day juice fast. And after that, I put on 1 year on a raw diet. And after that, she went to the doctors or whatever. They said she didn't have no more cancer. They were asking her what she did or whatever. I was able to share it to the doctors. But at the same time, I also had a line of supplements that I created that I put her on, and she was taking it every single day. And you can see, I also have a picture that you can show anyone who wants to see. This woman was bald completely. She had what they call alopecia. Yeah, she has what they call like alopecia. And all of this or whatever we're able to. So people always ask the question to my grandfather that, how do we grow someone's hair? And how do, for example, how does baldness occur? I know a lot of people are struggling with baldness. When people have baldness, it's something called protein dehydration. So it simply means if your body requires like 2 liters of water to drink every single day, and you're giving it half a gallon, what the human body will do is, because it's so intelligent, it will take that water and distribute it maybe to your legs, your eyes, to your digestive system. You take it to places that the body needs it the most. And one part of the body that is not used often is the hair. So it's going to strip the water out of that. And so to be able to grow one's hair or whatever, sometimes all we have to do is drink the right amount of water. For example, those plants. The one thing we're going to give those plants, no matter how much we love those plants, is going to be water. No matter how much you love this plant, you can't be like, well, that is fine wine, I'm going to put it. If you give it wine, it's going to. The plant is going to. So it's very important that we look at nature, how nature does it. Even when there's drought in nature or whatever, that is like water, because in drought, nothing grows. Anyone knows what drought is?